Well, Coach, was the time off beneficial, and what did you guys do to kind of get ready for this week?
Yeah, I think the bye week was very beneficial for us. Obviously, early in the week, we got our legs back under us and just recovered and obviously caught up in the classroom as well. And then, starting Wednesday, we really started honing in on Baylor and that scout. So we've had 3 really good days of prep and practice and working on our own game and just trying to solve a few of our hiccups that we've been obviously occurring.
Obviously, Baylor's playing good basketball right now, coming off of an upset of West Virginia. What do they do well, and what problems do they pose for you guys?
Yeah, I think Baylor is a really balanced basketball team. They share the basketball really, really well. So all 5 of their starters, average double figures, and I think that's really difficult to find out where you can help off of somebody if you need to help. They're a really good defensive basketball team. I believe they're top 40 in both offense and defense in the country. So very well rounded. I think that defensively, we're going to have to be able to handle their pressure and their physicality. They're really physical. So we're going to have to work extremely hard for some good offense and some good shots. And then defensively, we're going to have to turn around and, really try to take away what they like to do and keep them off the boards. We might be able to guard their first actions, but when that shot goes up, we're going to have to put a body on them because they can rebound the basketball at a really elite level.
You talked about some of the stuff you guys did during the bye week, but is it almost just as good for maybe a mental reset?
Oh, no doubt, especially, the way our season is going right now. We definitely needed a mental break to be able to just reset, really get our thoughts on the rest of the season and how can we, put together a good finish. How can we prepare ourselves to be able to be in a better position going into the tournament. And so I thought the girls handled it really well. I thought that they were rejuvenated. I think that they got refocused on what we're trying to do, and they have really good spirit about them.
Coach, Baylor ranks number 5 nationally in assists per game. What aspect about their ability to facilitate the basketball do you think they excel in the most?
First of all, transition offense, they're really good. So I would assume that quite a few of those assists do come in transition. I think the other thing is that they just play really well together and they feed off of one another. They don't go terribly deep into their bench, so I think their chemistry is really good. 1 through 7, 1 through 8, and so they know where the other person is. If somebody gets shut down or maybe they get cut off, they're able to find the next pass and the next open player, and they do a really good job of playing within themselves and knowing their roles and knowing where they're good at scoring the ball.
And with just their ability to create opportunities through assists, they don't really turn the ball over as much. As a defensive-minded head coach, as you are, and ranking number 2 in the conference in turnovers forced per game, what specifically do you want to see when trying to disrupt their game plan?
Yeah, we have to find some ways to disrupt them. I think that's going to be a really difficult challenge with Baylor, but I think we can do it. I think that we need to be able to do that maybe in the half court some. Obviously in the full court at times. We just need to be disruptive, and we need to have a mindset that we want to get stops and that we want to be able to just obviously disrupt what they like to do on offense. So get deflections, take away some of their strengths that they really like to go to, and just make them have to maybe make an extra pass or run another set or whatever it might be.
And Baylor, obviously just one of the top rebounding teams in the conference, just trying to capitalize off steals and defensive rebounds. What has to be done in order to finish on scoring opportunities?
Yeah. Say the end of that?
What has to be done in order to finish on scoring opportunities?
For us on scoring opportunities?
Yes,
Well, we're going to have to be extremely strong with the basketball. We're going to have great ball security, and we're going to have to know what's next in our offense. When they take away one option, we're going to have to know what the next thing is and not panic. We can't let the ball stick, and we can't stand. We've got to continue to move and try to get as much freedom of movement as we can with ball movement and with player movement so that we can get some direct drives to the basket or to make 2 take us so that we can find open shooters.
And Coach, are you familiar with the Play for K event going on tomorrow?
I am.
Can you talk about what it means to participate in the event?
Yeah, Play for K is super special, obviously, to me, just being a breast cancer survivor. But it's a huge platform that we have to be able to just bring awareness to breast cancer and to be able to maybe raise some money for it, but also just to unify as a women's basketball organization, that everybody is on the same page when it comes to women's health. And I think it's a really special game. I love that women's basketball has taken such important. It loves to bring it to the forefront and really makes it an important initiative for all the teams throughout the country. So it's going to be a great night. Love that we get to celebrate the survivors and honor those that lost their fight too soon.
And with it meant to unite people, what does it say about you, this team, and maybe even the university as you honor the movement?
Well, I just think that obviously we want to pass along to our girls, our players, just how important it is to fight for a cure, and obviously just even for precautionary health care. I mean, we want to bring awareness to mammograms and to just taking care of yourself and staying ahead of it. There's been so many advancements in cancer research that if you can just stay ahead of it, you really have a better chance of winning the fight. And there's not one player on our team that hasn't been affected in some form or fashion by this disease. And, to be honest, 1 in 8 it's going to affect. And so at some point in these girls' lives, if it hasn't affected them directly, it's going to. And I just think it's super important that we continue to bring awareness to the disease and to how to fight it and just how to support one another through it.
Coach, what problems do you think you caused for Baylor that they have to be concerned about?
I think that we can be disruptive. I think that we can maybe take them out of some offensive flow that they have. If we can make them have to make extra passes, if we make them have to rush and maybe get some deflections, things like that, I do think that maybe we can take away their, like I said, their offensive flow. Hopefully that's the key. Transition offense, if we can get some stops, we can get some turnovers, and we can score in transition, that helps us set our press. And hopefully we can, just the conditioning piece of it, even just the longevity of the game and us being able to go a little deeper in our bench.
Do you think that the way that you've played defense here recently, and even though the score doesn't necessarily always indicate that, has given your team some confidence?
No doubt. I think our team has really bought into the defensive side of it. I think we've played some really good basketball teams that we have disrupted and that we've held under their average. And I think that we're doing a really good job of that in the Big 12. We've just got to do a little bit better job, obviously, of scoring the basketball and taking advantage of those opportunities.
So who is that player tomorrow for you, do you think?
It can't be just one. It's got to be a committee for sure. I mean, I think that obviously Jazzy and Bailey are going to have to play really strong and be physical with the basketball. I think that our post players are going to have a great presence inside in the paint. We're going to have to get some point production there. And then I think when we get an open look from the 3-point line, we're going to have to knock it down. So it's definitely by committee. This has to be a team win. That's what it's been about from day one for our kids, and I think we can do it. All right. Thank you guys for being here.